Welcome to another edition of Super Supply Saturday. Today I am doing a video that was requested by a viewer who emailed me and asked me to talk about Tim Holtz inks one day. So I've kind of gone back and forth. Is Tim Holtz ink a supply or is it a tool? And I guess it's both, but I just decided to do it as a Super Supply Saturday instead of a Terrific Tools Tuesday because I have a lot more tools to show than I have variety of supplies. So we're going to say that it's a supplies. Before I get going, there's a few things I want to show you that I have found very helpful. This is a book by Tim Holtz. It's called A Compendium of Curiosities. This is a great resource. I have enjoyed this resource thoroughly. I've learned so much. And it's not a book that you read and then get rid of. It's a reference book. It's one that you'll use often. You'll go back to it to look for ideas and for ways to use different tools that you see in the stores or on YouTube or on different blogs. It's just a great go-to book, and it's one where I've learned a lot about using the different Tim Holtz supplies. And in fact, some of the techniques that we're going to look in, one of the techniques that we're going to view in the video is from this page, the alcohol ink monoprint. We're going to be doing that, and some other things about alcohol inks that we'll be talking about. So this is a really great go-to book, and I highly recommend it. I purchased mine off of Amazon.com because I happen to have a Amazon gift card or something that I could use. I got it for my birthday. But you can get it at your, I know that my Hobby Lobby I know carries it. You can find it many places on the internet. And it's something that if you have a Hobby Lobby 40% off coupon that comes out very frequently, you can use it for that. Full retail on it's about $25, so it's one of those items you want to have a coupon or maybe ask for it for a gift or something. But I have learned so much from this book, and it stays right near my work area so that I can have it to go to. So today I was at my Hobby Lobby. I drove in I had a specific purchase in mind that I needed to make, and so it was worth driving into the town to get it. And while I was there, I was looking for gloss paper. When using alcohol inks, if you're using it on paper, you need to have something that's non-porous. So you know, when I first started stamping a long time ago, probably 14-15 years ago, it seemed like gloss paper cardstock was out there a lot, and I've really kind of had a hard time finding it. My local Joann's didn't have it that I could find, and this one I had to search quite a while for. It's actually by Ink Essentials, who also Tim Holtz does some of his things for. And so it's something that you'll want to find somewhere. You can also get it packages of gloss finished cards, and I just chose not to do that because I didn't. This was $6 for 10 sheets of 8.5 by 11, and I think it probably averages to be a little bit even more expensive if you do it the cards. So you'll need some kind of a non-porous paper if you're going to use the alcohol inks. So the one other thing I want to show you before we get started is I received this set of stamps in the mail today. This is by K. Andrew Designs, and this is the Amazing You set. And you can take it and mix and match it. It's this one up here says "You are," and then you can change it. You are a hero, inspiring, a blessing, delightful, beautiful, so sweet, not alone. And I just thought this would make great cards of encouragement. And so this was a stamp set that I wanted to purchase, and I'm going to use these when we're playing with the inks today. So let's get started talking about Tim Holtz inks. Now, there are, I believe he has 36 or something like that, maybe more than that, ink pads. I obviously don't have near that many, but these are the Tim Holtz Distressed Ink pads. They come in a multitude of colors. Just some of them I have frayed burlap, pumice stone, faded jeans. They just come in a huge array of colors, and there's so many things. If you watch my videos, you'll see that I use them frequently. They say right on them, create an age look on papers, fibers, photos, and more. I just like the colors. I really like them, and I like that I use them just for normal stamping, even if I'm not going for a distressed or an age look. I just like the colors. So they're very simple to use, and there's a few things that I do with them. So one thing, let's start. I do have some of, they're a dye-based ink pad. So dye-based ink does dry a little more quickly, and so I'm going to go ahead. This will probably still dry relatively slowly on this because this is just a piece of that glossy cardstock, but of course I chose a purple one and I didn't get that centered, but you can just see a nice purple color. But there's so much more that you can do, not just honestly with Tim Holtz inks, but with inks in general. I have here, I have just a die cut that I had left over from another project. A tool that is very helpful I found when working with Tim Holtz things. I actually purchased this first one that actually says Tim Holtz, and this one's really messy because the foam was coming apart, so I used some Gorilla Glue to put it back together. But these are just applicators. This one was specifically designed for alcohol inks, but they're interchangeable. I've only purchased two. Some people buy them for all the colors. I just choose to switch out my pads. But for the alcohol inks, you use little felt tabs. Now they come in a package similar to this package right here, and I chose not to buy it. They come with 4 or 5. What I did is I went and bought a nice sheet of just craft felt and cut my own. I think a size like this that has maybe 25 or 50 of the felt pads was $4 or $5, and I could get a sheet of probably 9 by 12 felt for 40-50 cents. So that's the way I chose to do it. So the felt is for the alcohol ink. For the regular distress ink pads, I went ahead and bought the foam, and I saved them. What I did is I had these little bags left over from some embellishments that I had sorted in a different container, and I saved them, and actually I'm getting low on them. So today while I was in town, I picked up some pads in the beading section so that I can save my pads so I can use them over and over again, and you can just keep on using them. So they just attach by Velcro to that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my foam pad, and I'm going to be pretty generous because this is a pretty good shape. And then now this is the Ranger craft mat, and so it cleans itself. So I'm just coming from the craft mat and I'm going in, and it just gives a nice, usually I wouldn't use this much ink on a project. I'm just wanting to show you the project here, or show you the capabilities here. Now if I wanted to, I could just kind of fade it in a little bit and just lighten it and just put the dark out there, and I've completely changed my piece. So then maybe if I wanted to use my stamp again, I could just stamp it kind of at an odd angle, so I can't really see what I'm doing here, but there's just a little thing. It says "You are a blessing," just a little die cut. I could put it on a card or do whatever I want. This isn't something I would do often. I would play with an embellishment more, but it just kind of shows you what you can do with these. They're great for inking around the edges, and of course for distressing. That's what they're for. And Tim Holtz has many other supplies. Distress ink. You can also get the re-inkers, and you can use them in misting bottles. You can just use them all different ways. So that's just the basic distress ink. I personally use it like an ink pad. Now we come to the alcohol inks. Alcohol inks typically come, at least in my craft stores, in a 3-pack. I believe that these packs probably came oh, let's see, it went this way. This was the earth tone pack. It came in these 3, and then this was the brights pack. It came in these 3. They typically run, I believe, about $10 for a package of 3. And again, I use coupons on them. Now, alcohol inks dry very quickly, and there's so many applications you can do on these. I don't have time on this video just to do them, but they come on a hang tag pack. This is one of my, this is the Rustic Lodge, or this earth tone one here, came in there. And so, and then there's some other things that I have found very helpful. This is the alcohol blending solution. It also comes on a hang tag. I kept my packages so I could learn more about them. So they also have some metallic mixatives. I haven't purchased any of those yet, but there's so much you can do with those. So I just want to show you some things that you can do with these. Some of this I have not tried before, so this is going to be the first time. Other things I have tried. For instance, you see here I have this yellow colored brad. Well, with the alcohol inks and using the terracotta color, I put it right over the top and completely changed the color of my brad. And I suppose if I really scratched hard it would come off, but with one coat, and now this has been sitting for quite some time. I did this probably a few months ago, but it's pretty permanent. And so, but if I wanted to, I could go back over now, and I'm going to add, oh, let's add some purple onto the top of my little applicator here and go over it. This is a great time to have tweezers. I'm just kind of playing right now. And see, I've completely changed the color again, and it will dry in a matter of seconds. Some other things you can do with the alcohol inks. The rhinestone embellishments that you have. You can make your embellishments match your whatever project you're working on. Again, let's use the purple. I'm going to you just dab it right on top. And now I've changed that rhinestone embellishment into purple. And it won't take very long and it'll be dry. Well, maybe I don't want it to be purple anymore, so I can, you know, kind of move this to a different side of the pad and kind of dab it, and now it's picking up some greenish yellow tones. So there's just a lot you can do with these, and you've really expanded now. Instead of just having these you know, clear rhinestone colors, I can change it to match my project. So let's go back to the purple so that I can let that dry for a few seconds, and you know, let's just put it. It's a different purple than the other ink was, but let's just put it there. So now I've got a purple rhinestone on my card. So just something you can do. Now they also have because they dry, you can get multi-dimensional things with these. So let's put a dab of the yellow, a dab of the purple. Let's put some blue on here. And let's just start stamping these. And we get almost a tie-dye effect. We can just get all sorts of things. And on the, again, you have to use the glossy, the non-porous surface. Now let's use some of our little blending solution here, and let's see what happens. See, that kind of turns it white. Let's see what happens when we start blending it out. What's it going to make? You know, some of these things aren't my taste necessarily, but they're things that you can do. As I blend out, you can see the different dimensions. It's picking up the different colors, but they're not really, I would say they're not muddied. It's, you know, the colors are there. They're distinctly there, but they're a little bit different. You know, there we go. There's the card base for, I don't know, a teenage party or something more fun for that to do. Another way you can use them, and this is just something that I saw in the compendium, we can, remember this with this Ranger craft mat, we can ink on them. And I'm just going to put some of these different colors down, and let's see what happens when we do this. Then let's get some of the blending solution kind of in the middle there. Here's some terracotta. The blending solution will take your bright, vibrant colors that are on these, and it will make them a little lighter, a little more pastel. So we'll take that, and we'll take this little "You Are a Blessing" that we stamped earlier, and now we're going to rub it. And we're going to pick it up, and we're going to rub it a different direction. And as we rub it, it'll take up different tones of the paper. There are some really neat, this is not obviously a project, not something that I would do, but there's a lot of neat techniques you could take now and stamp over the top of that, and it just gives it just a different look. And it's already dry. It's not doing anything to my fingers. Well, I want that corner there, so let's add some more color to the corner there. Let's add some more color there. And so as you drag it through, each time it's going to pick up a different area of that color and put it down. So these are just some of the different things that you can do with the Tim Holtz inks. One thing that I like to do besides turning my browns, and I haven't tried this with the staples yet, and one easier way to do this would be probably to, if you can get pens that you can put these in, and for small objects it would work really well if you had a pen, and I don't, but you know, I like these little Tim Holtz staples, and this is the terracotta ink. Again, it would work a little better if I had the pen, which I don't, but let's see what happens here. Okay, so now I've got some terracotta staples, and in a few seconds it'll be dry, and I could, if I wanted to, let's get my stapler here, load it up, right side up would be helpful. And now we've got a terracotta staple. It's probably not showing up well on the camera, but the staple matches if I was doing something in terracotta. So just some of the things that you can do with it. Now, I've not read or seen anywhere that the next thing that I'm going to try, if you can actually do it, so we're going to learn together and see if you can. But I thought, when I was thinking about this, I thought, vellum's not porous. Let's see what happens if we stamp vellum. I'm just curious. So let's see. Let's use the terracotta just because that's the color of the pad I have. And let's see what happens when I put it on the vellum. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. Just all over the vellum here. Again, I should probably grab some tweezers. It's already starting to dry. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So then I decided, oh, let's try something else here. So I went and I got, I cut the same flower with my Accent Essential card, and I ran it through the Cut-A-Bug with the Divine Swirls. And what I'm going to try to do, we're going to see if it's possible, what I'm going to try to do is just rub this over the top. Notice this is pretty much dry, so I'm not too worried about that. Of course, this is just scraps. But let's just see if the top of the swirls will pick it up. Not so easily. Maybe if I had the pens, it would. I was hoping that it would be raised enough that just the swirls would catch the ink and leave the background a color. But it's still pretty, and it really brings, you know, I don't have all these colors of vellum. I just have, you know, the pearlized vellum. But because it's a non-porous surface, now I have a vellum flower with Divine Swirls. So, you know, it seems like the vellum, this one's now already dry, and I haven't turned off the camera. That wasn't a camera trick. This one's already dry. Let's go around here and just ink the edges a bit with that color, with the purple on there. Just multi-dimensional. So it works great on vellum, guys. I had done some reading, and I hadn't seen anything about vellum. I hadn't looked specifically for vellum, but it was just something I wanted to try. So there you have it, the Tim Holtz, some of his inks. There's a lot more available than this out there. You know, he has different paints, he has a distressing daubers. There's just a world of possibility out there using the different inks. You know, buy a couple and see if you like them. See if some of these projects are something you would do. I'm trying to think what I would do with this. Maybe die cut and make a flower, or, you know, you could die cut a butterfly out of it. That would make a pretty butterfly. So just some possibilities that you can do with that. So try it out and see if you enjoy using the Tim Holtz products as much as I do. Have a great Saturday, everybody. Bye.